Yeah, yeah, my fault, man. I went outside to smoke a black and mild. But like I was basically saying, like, you get what I'm saying? It's crazy that's like and you know how it's a generational curse because the smoking took my dad, right? When I was 16 and shit. And like me fighting for my son, everything that this woman did that's like closing out now, as me getting her in court for my child and stuff, this is the same exact shit that like my mom did to my dad, y'all. It's the same exact shit. It's so crazy. But it's like generational curses is real, and I know like I'm supposed to break this shit. Now, like I was telling y'all about that comment that I made, you know what I'm saying, on my TikTok. I didn't mean to offend no one or anything when I made it, but I made it from the standpoint of the genocide behind it on a psychological level. As, you know what I mean? As keeping everybody in a docile state around the lies embedded with it. You get what I'm saying? How it corresponds. You know how they all it alludes to everything I basically be talking about. You know, and the changes that's taking place on the planet right now, and whose DNA is conducive to those changes. You feel me? Like I just spoke to a goddess just now, and I told her what was happening with the radiation on the planet and stuff, and she's like, she hope it's not long. I told her, I'm like, it ain't long at all. You know, people are having complications right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. She's walking by me right now too. She's coming right, like, and I was telling her, I'm like, we don't got that much longer, y'all. You know, because if you're you got to realize like even all this is coming out with these kids and everything and what they've been doing to these kids, they've been doing that to these kids. You get what I'm saying? You understand like 1600s, like 1700s, they've been touching kids. You can look up open cases right now, y'all, and you can look up incest, child molestation, any state as far as like the open cases, and you'll see it's the complex cell organism, specifically European man. You know, I'm
So she
telling
needs
y'all.
some help, bro.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that, man.
Okay.
I thank you. I
I
love your
got
hair
less.
also. Enjoy the rest of
Thank
your
you.
day. You know, and and that's how I tell you energy is real because it's like right when I was talking about it, she came around the corner. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling her everything that's happening, and she knows what I'm saying is the truth. Because y'all got to realize I study this shit. I might be homeless. Shout out to the 10 people that just came in. Like I might, and I have empathy and compassion for everybody, but for me as an organic being, it's just embarrassing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like the embarrassment's on us and the shame is on them. It's like everybody's been lied to. You know what I'm saying? But I say this, regardless of whatever side you on genetically, prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, as far as this and how it's hurting children and shit like that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you neuromelanated, you're melanated, if you got just phenomelanin, you know what I'm saying? Like either or. You know what I'm saying? This is why the changes on the planet is happening, y'all. You know? But I give energy to every other neuromelanated being out there. No disrespect to the goddesses, the black women, but I'm specifically speaking to your black men right now. Because we fighting different battles out here, regardless of whatever money bracket we in, for stuff that we have to deal with that everybody sees that's going on, but acts like they don't see. You feel me? That can create what we know as like mental health attacks and like all of that shit, right? And I feel like we're starting to love on each other more, but we need to continue that. You feel me? I'm even talking to your Uncle Tom's also. No bullshit. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, the fate has already been sealed, right? You know, a species was created here off of genetic splicing and voluntarily mixed breeding, and a bidding was done on a planet, even though it's still being done, like the Titanic and Elastic and shit, as it closes out, right? And you really got to think about it. And I'm saying this respectfully. We talking animal DNA versus dormant DNA, right? How did all of these animals come up together? Gene sequences, different percentages of several of the same animals come together to make one organism that naturally wouldn't sexually reproduce with each other. You get what I'm saying? These is questions that need to be asked, and that I say to the black community, and in which you are children and subjugated to. Even if you don't want to look at what they did yesterday and ignore all the genocide in which we're living in today, that's deemed as regular reality, as far as what's compromising everybody, right? You know, as this shit plays out, y'all, you're gonna see how violent these people get. You feel me? They about to get real violent, y'all, because the complacency and their arrogancy and how they're stuck in it, it's brung them here. You feel me? And they can't run from it now. So it's like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I'm not saying that I don't have good conversations with unnatural people, or I don't get help here and there from unnatural people. But let me break it down though. I'm not saying I'm ungrateful, but you you can only be so happy to get help from your abuser. You get what I'm saying? So, and you really got to understand what I'm saying when I'm saying this. You really got to understand what I'm saying without attached feelings, and really know what's going on the planet, right? In all ways, in the situation of the lowest that I'm so caught in right now, I don't care if I was to go to a church. I don't care if I was to say I want to work on my mental health and go to your hospital. Any angle of it that you look, I got to go to my oppressors for help, as if like I'm really in lack, but I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is like a hard pill to swallow, but it's very, very real, y'all. And I feel like it's becoming more and more able to be seen by the day, as far as like really, really what's going on. You know what I mean? And I just want to make sure that like I'm gonna continue to give out love. You get what I'm saying? Because like I know that this shit is a video game, and I know as the energy picks up, and as it's gonna make them more rampant, where they're gonna be trying to provoke me even more. I already know. You feel me? Because and I'm saying this from a standpoint of even me being strong in a situation that people, if they're in or close to being in, they don't even want people to even know. You feel me? I'm talking about people. I'm dealing with people that's scared, like, because they're more scared of how people view them. You know what I mean? Like, you know how people talk about like defamation of character and stuff like that. All that shit is real and stuff, but you got to think about it like it's real, but it's not. Basically, what I'm saying, because whenever that happens to a person and shit like that, y'all, it's happening for a reason. You think about it. Why would a community or area or a group of people all gang up towards one person? You hear what I'm saying? You got to think about that type of shit. And to say just because a person is financially struggling or they're homeless, that's not a good enough reason for that. You know, if somebody would go about doing that, or getting even their friends, you know what I mean, to go along, and whenever they see this person or try to break them down, or, you know what I mean, break their spirit, you know what I mean, however, so, you know, like that's kind of like a psychological problem, you know what I mean? I mean, really think about it for a moment. Like, I don't care how strong a person that's homeless could be. Why would you want to keep attacking that person? Only for the fact that you don't feel peace, even with you not being innocent. That would be the only thing, you know? Because I'm not out going after nobody or nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? Hey, excuse me? Hello? You get what I'm saying? These people are like zombies, you know? That's the type of, I'm gonna be honest, and they don't really realize how they look at the cosmos. Like, I don't care what the fuck a black person talks to you about, what the fuck they about to ask you. If you ignoring a black person that is bringing whatever to your attention, you better be an organic person yourself. And we shouldn't even be doing that to each other. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's what I'm basically talking about. Because how could you have a sense of an arrogancy as a white man that you fucked up the whole planet, right? As a white man, you fucked up the whole planet. You abusing children, doing all of this shit, and then one person's gonna try to talk to you, and then you're gonna ignore that person. You know what I'm saying? For real. Hey, excuse me, bro. Hello, bro. It's embarrassing me asking you, bro. I'm about to go to work, bro, and I have like a smart trip. I'm just trying to get like a few dollars for like a train ride, and for one way. And like I was wondering if you possibly can like spare anything in any shape, way, or form to help it all, bro. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah. You said, shout out any. You said, Mr. Josh Kid, what's up, brother? Are we getting geeked this beautiful Thursday? I don't know what you talking about, bro. So how's your day been? Samir? I mean, my day is all right. I just been trying to just get together. I got the one part of the paperwork, and I'm when I, long story short, the lady, she sent another thing to me or whatever, as if like I didn't have to fill out the first one. Like I would have filled out both of them, but like she didn't, how she sent it, it didn't make it seem like that. So I got to send that other one to her real quick. And then, but I can't hear from the phone. My mental health today just wasn't really it. I'm just going through a lot with just my situation, and I'm just trying to just keep my mental health all right to a point where it's like I don't allow for my situation to make me like reactive or like provoke me to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like out of character or something. So that's why like I'm just trying to just focus. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. More than anything, I'm just focusing on my mental health. I'm still doing what I got to do, but around like the attacks that I'm having, around being separated from my son on the daily and stuff like that, I got to take like extreme measures to like try to keep my mental health okay. You know what I mean? Whether anyone can understand it or not. And it's like I'm grateful for the nice people that I meet and shit, but this shit is not a game though. You know? That's why more than anything, even as I get back to my son and stuff, just the main thing that I'm going to teach him is like self-love and how not to let like a woman take advantage of him and know when to leave before even having a baby with a woman and all of that shit. Like I swear to God, nothing is going to come before me teaching him that. Like he's going to know this type of shit so well, y'all. I swear to God, he ain't going to go through no type shit like this, you know? And I doubted that his mom is going to teach him because she did that to his dad. She did that to me. So I don't got her saying it from an angle of even teaching him because it's probably going to hurt too much. You know what I'm saying? My son looked exactly like me. Like when I say exactly like me, that nigga looked exactly like me. So, you know, so I know when she look at him, it's already pain and knowing how everything, you know, what she done and all of that. Because she literally looking at me every day. You know, that's enough pain. And she don't got to tell me that because I already know how she is. You know? So the situation is just all sad though, y'all. It's really sad as shit. One of the most saddest things, really, to be honest with y'all, because shit makes me want to cry for real. But everything happens for a reason. But I'll say this though, like I'm smoking less Black and Mild just because they're so cheap. A Black and Mild is like 60 cents. You know, I don't drink or do no hardcore drugs or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But Black and Mild is still like seven cigarettes in one. It's not any more healthier. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta stop that shit. And it's like I'm trying my best, but it's just like put it like this. I know like if I wasn't dealing with all this with my son, or even with like homelessness and shit like that, like if that wasn't a worry to the extent that it is, or how diabolical my situations is just to make it to your next rising and shit like that, I wouldn't be harming myself in that way. That's why this system is so detrimental. And for anybody that and anyone can't understand that, you're a part of the problem because like no one should have to go through that and what comes with that, like the mental attacks. Like I don't care how strong you are, like to have to not know where you're gonna sleep at and where your next meal, like all of that shit. You're so much in survival that it's like you really can't live. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason why it's set up like that, though, y'all, is because even when you have money to spend on the stuff, that whatever you need to spend it on, what they say, this is this price, what you need to spend it on, you're still not living. You get what I'm saying? But that feels better than that. So you feel you'd rather take that and then call that just not living. And when you have this, you're for sure living because you're not dealing with that, at least, you know, the worst of it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really understand like the curveball of it. But a lot of people might not understand how I just said that. You know, it might be too much for them to fathom, but that's real though. That's like the whole, you feel me? Like me really like breaking it down to y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. You know, but like I said, awareness. If I had the choice, if I really had a choice, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would choose not to be as aware as I am. I wouldn't, because the shit just depressed me. Like when I didn't. I'm not saying it was any better, but when you know what you're living in and you know what's going on, and I know like we're in the forefront, we're in the last of it and shit like that, but still, it hurts from a standpoint where it's like, it's almost like I can't really function properly with my level of awareness of what I'm living in to look at it like as if like it's not what it is, you know? Like I can't unsee what I know. And that's like the most depressing part about it, where it's like, I really don't be knowing how I'm gonna make it to your next day and shit like that. And I be really scared because this shit is just crazy as shit. But my last thing I always gotta say though is like, me knowing if I get taken out from like me harming myself off of being in shock of trying to deal with shit that I shouldn't have to deal with, I'm definitely gonna get karma, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna give out karma. Like I swear to God I am. Like anybody would when you really think about it. Like that's some, you know what I'm saying? You're not wrong. You're not wrong for striking back if you get taken out off some shit that you're only gonna succumb to because of your brother or sister. You feel me? You gotta understand what I'm saying right now. A lot of the stuff that's happening to us individually is just off of our division. So it's not even real problems. You get what I'm saying? So in any way of that touching me, yes, I would get revenge, y'all. I would. Like lovely. That'd be the first thing I would do when I would die, y'all. All jokes aside. Very first thing. Like I'm not settling down. I'm not trying to talk to Jesus, none of that. Or if I talk to Jesus, it's gonna be the first thing. I'll be like, Jesus, look, I know I'm out this bitch, but look, I gotta go back and handle something, and I'm gonna come back up here. Because I wasn't supposed to really be up here right now, but I'm up here right now, so you gotta forgive me, or I'm gonna talk to you real quick once I do this, and then we gonna chop it up. And that's how I would go. That's how I would go about that. For my soul. Hey, what it is, OG? Hey, peace, power, abundance to yours, man. Good to hear from you. You already getting people out this joint. I know I got off and I got back on, but yeah, man. One of the main reasons why I'm happy that this system is crashing is I want to know what it looks like when I'm not going to have to try to escape some shit that I shouldn't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wonder like how life is going to feel then. You know? As like an organic being on my shit. Like, that shit is I'm actually really going to feel free, you know? I can't wait, y'all. I know that shit's right around the corner. And I gotta deal with whatever attacks. I'm prepared for it all, though. I thought about the worst thing already happening. You know what I mean? In every way. You know? For real, y'all. So I'm gonna walk all the way around here. And then when I get over to my other side, I'm about to holler at y'all, because it's about to be a wild night. But I must survive, though. You feel me? I must prevail. You know, the story of the black man. You know? I remember when I really used to think like slavery like stopped, or like slavery wasn't here now. That was probably like the biggest lie I found out, y'all. Like that slavery stopped and shit. And once I found out in all the ways how I haven't been able to let go of that shit. That shit hurts so bad. It's like I can't even function. I'm never gonna be able to function properly again with me knowing the ins and outs of what this system is about and all the angles of the toxicity within it that's protected. And I'm not even talking about them files. That's what's just so crazy. I'm not even talking about that. You feel me? But it's like, I just feel like it's like zombies around me and shit. Like I'm just like, so everybody is that much in fear that we just go on like everything. I'm like, all right. Because everything is everything, you know? Put it like this. Majority of us, we're so in a docile state that for us to really do something and move in a way of like real honor, regardless of your genetic makeup, I'm gonna tell you what would have to like happen, like type shit, right? They would have to start going after people's kids like individually, like up front, because everyone's kids are attacked right now in ways of stuff that everyone's children is subjugated to that you think isn't what it is, or you think this is for this child's growth and development. It's not that. You feel me? But I'm saying from the standpoint of like the make so-called Americans, regardless of your genetic makeup, for people to stand for truth or do something about the infringement of this shit on everybody, they would have to start coming after like our kids individually on whatever reason for like, oh, we coming to get your kid out the house to everybody. And then that would cause like an uproar for people, I guess, to feel powerful, because most people have undeveloped brains where they can only worry about what's in front of them. They can't see the forest past the trees, like past, you know what I'm saying? They can only deal with like what's right here. So it's like, it would have to be like that right in the forefront to get a reaction like that, you know what I mean, individually in unison, you feel me? That's how that would have to come about. But other than that, the only other way is what's happening with the system crashing, where it's like the stuff that people do to put in place to kind of soothe the pain or the awareness, that stuff not being able to be done no more. You know what I'm saying? So for example, like the Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, like say hypothetically speaking right now, like that's taken and people, you know how much people will be affected just by it alone? It depend on that early coffee, you know what I'm saying? And shit. Or, you know what I'm saying? Basically like when companies, I know companies have been falling and crashing and shit, and I'm talking about like system wise, where it's like, I don't give a fuck what money bracket you in or whatever, you're not shopping shit. Like, and by then I mean like that it's almost to your point where no matter how much money you are, the money doesn't even matter no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like that close from each other. Like once we get like right there and shit, and we were really right there, but we about to be really right there. It's gonna be lovely, y'all. Because really, I'm gonna break something down to y'all before I end this video. Because really think about what I'm about to say to y'all right now. Like, y'all know how I was explaining to y'all a couple lives ago about sex and stuff, right? And how it's healthy for a man to have sex and stuff like that, or what can happen if a man isn't having sex properly and stuff, because it's the most natural thing to do, right? You know, that's why they project it of sex being the most powerful energy, because it is one of the most powerful energies, but not in a way how it's projected, right? All right. Now, everybody that's on my podcast and fuck with me, I fuck with y'all. But y'all know, like, there's no sides. Like, I tell it straight up, right? So we know modern women, right? The average woman out here is straight money-based, materialistic, superficial. Basically, from a standpoint, if you have anything other to offer, which you should as a man, that's either just as important or more as even that, right? If your financial isn't right or you look like it's not right, she's not even going to give you that chance to even see those other stuff that's matching just of that same energy or that same frequency. You get what I'm saying? These are the times that we're living in. So with that being said, this system and the division amongst money and who has and who doesn't have it, basically they're controlling sex with that too. Who's having sex more and who's not? You know what I'm saying? Right? Because of women's connection to it and how much they think of it. So already that's breeding. Just that alone is breeding more crime. You feel me? Because think about. I'm just being straightforward with y'all. And I haven't had sex in 6 months, but I'm just being straightforward with y'all. You know, it's no lies with me. Like, that's a serious problem, y'all. Because they can't tell me with them knowing that's the most natural thing to do, right? And how it breeds attraction depending on your financial state, right? Before you even say a word to your woman, right? Because of how important money is in a monetary system. So therefore, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you look like. If your money is in a better position, you're gonna have more women looking at you. You feel me? And they know that, so they control with that too, you know. But that's why one of the many reasons why this shit is crashing down and why the sun is breaking down people with animal DNA. You know, the pink skin species with animal DNA. You know, because of how complacent they got in their arrogancy, and every time that they get reminded of it, they feel that they gotta overcompensate for how comfortable they really feel with the changes that's taking place on the planet, y'all. This is why all of this is happening, you know, because it's like they're gonna be doing what they've been doing since they've been on the planet, and they're not gonna stop. You know what I mean? I don't even get mad at them or get offended. I just take them who they are, and I'm blessing them on their way out. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just giving them the knowledge of who they are, whether they accept it or not on their way out. And if they take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. But it's happening. And I'm just happy that they got a little bit longer left to be on that type of time, y'all. You know, like y'all heard what I just said as I was coming down the escalator. It was a white woman and a white male. She laughed. That's why I zoned in on that and just said that. You get what I'm saying? It's like they have such an infatuation with us as black people that even when we're not dealing with them or we're minding our business, it's like they got to go out their way and try to provoke us, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like they got to do like intentional, spiteful, under the table type shit, you know? Because they really feel uncomfortable, you know? So it's like they overcompensate, and any, like, people you have to meet all the time in this area, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know when somebody really loves their boyfriend or girlfriend and they just expressing love, or even just expressing love in public, or it's like they trying to cause a reaction. You know what I'm saying? And it was something I said. You played back this video, you heard what I said right before you heard that laugh. You feel me? And then you didn't see it because I ain't put the camera on them. But I'm talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to offend them. But this is what I'm talking about. This is one of many reasons why they're so dangerous, y'all. One of many reasons. You know, so I'm gonna get at y'all, man. I'm gonna come with y'all. Y'all can call me while you rushing real quick. And then I'm gonna get at y'all. This is I don't even feel safe on my planet amongst the species. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't, because I know what they're capable of doing and what they're already doing. You got me? Already what they're trying to protect. And no one can tell me I'm crazy for that shit. You know? I'm not crazy for being aware of the abuse that's happening to me as an organic being, and choosing not to want to be a part of that, or being mad that I'm a part of that due to division of people of my same genetic makeup. I'm not wrong for that, y'all. You know what I mean? No, I'm gonna get at y'all for real, y'all.